Hello to everyone out there. Happy Leap Day. The last Leap Day in New Zealand, we were in lockdown. So this Leap Day is significantly better. It's a beautiful day outside. You would have noticed last year I was wearing shirts in these meetings or conversations, CEO memos. I do apologize. I did intend on wearing a shirt. It's hung up over there on my door, but I just went for a run, good solid 8Ks, and I was a wee bit hot. So I was like, you know what, a t-shirt and a hat, probably a bit more befitting. We have clients in New Zealand and in Australia, as well as the United States. Right now on my TV in my office, it's 185 for 6 on the first day of the test between New Zealand and Australia at the Basin Reserve. It looks like a good score at this point. For those that like Test cricket, you know that it can change in a session. It can change in and over. I love Test cricket, and to be battling across the Tasman, just good stuff, good summer stuff. But anyway, I hope that you've all had a great start to the year. It is a mixed bag out there. There are some great stories of success. There's some green shoots for growth for many, but then also in the retail sector and in the trade sector, certainly in New Zealand, tough going. So Reserve Bank held those rates. The inflation rate is set to drop, and I believe it's already dropping in Australia. And hopefully we see some stimulation in the consumer sentiment as interest rates are dropped later in the year across all really, first world or Western world economies, to see growth come back. So certainly from our perspective, from Wonks' perspective, best start to the year we've ever had. And that's across the board. So that's including our clients, but also the team are just firing on all cylinders. The opportunities for integration with AI is great. I was just looking at some of our American clients' return on ad spend, just incredible results that we're getting, and shows that the tyranny of distance is evaporated when it comes to online communications. And so really, really excited for the year ahead. There's so much stability and structure in our business that it means that we're just doubling down and doing a better job for you, the client. So really excited about where 2024 is going to head. Just a special note, I want to congratulate all of the staff at Wonks in the last year who have had a child. So I believe that by the middle of this year, we'll have 5 children under the age of 1 for staff at Wonks. And we're really lucky. Several of the mothers have come back from their maternity leave and are juggling that balancing act. And their professionalism is just outstanding. And the way that the team supported them to come back to work, and the flexibility that we afford them is simply because they're amazing, and we couldn't do our jobs without them. So really glad that the company is evolving to the point where we've got that flexibility. We've also got that really high professional standard, and that people want to come back to work to get that balance. So, we've got a really multicultural business, and it spans the entire globe. So yeah, really, really positive sentiments that are coming forward. So long may that continue. Perhaps it's the nice weather and the sun that gives me a sunny disposition. Maybe it's what I call gym dolphins that are percolating through my body after a run. But anyway, that's my opening spiel. So I'll talk about qualified staff. I'll talk about webinars that we're having this year. I'll talk about some changes to the Merchant Center. So for all of you out there selling online, important changes. Tag manager consent, quick note about Google in general, and then I'll go through our insights that we have evolving in our dashboard. So we made a point to educate, and I've talked about this in the past, to educate our staff and get them qualified across different Google products. So we now have 25 staff qualified in search advertising, shopping advertising, in display, in YouTube, and apps. So we can cover the full gambit of online advertising and lead generation, revenue generation for our clients, which is awesome. And so, I think that we will we'll continue to master that and open up new fronts, definitely around how large language models are being integrated into our workload and how we can become more productive to deliver services to you, and what the dynamic changes in the industry are going to mean moving forward, because costs are increasing and you've got to be careful about where you place ads and how you use online platforms, because I've been doing this about 15 years now. It seems to be getting harder and results seem to be getting harder to come by. And there just seems to be a lot of complexity added that doesn't need to be there. When it was smaller and simpler, it was easier. So our main priority is being the masters of the domain and having that skill set so that we can pass it through to you. And you're looking at strategic decisions. You're only taking on board what truly is going to move the needle for your business, not getting bogged down in something that's going to change in 3 months anyway. So just getting that right, what we're transferring over to you knowledge-wise, is a critical next step for us. So part of that is webinars that we're going to hold across the year. So the next 2 that we're going to hold, they're going to be on the last Thursday of the, should know this, I'm going to have a CEO memo, shouldn't I? Come on, Jeff. 28th, I believe it is, Thursday the 28th. It may be Wednesday the 27th. So wait for the email. It will tell down below in the email. You'll also be able to come to our website and sign up on the webinar page. Every business that has a NZBN or an ABN number will be eligible to go in the draw if you attend the webinar to win $500. Okay, so if you're a registered company and you come to the webinar and you listen to what we have to say, you go in the draw to win $500. Now you should be taking away learnings, but also $500 is $500. So yay! So we encourage you to come. The first one is going to be blending your brand with AI, and I'll talk about using the basic level Search Console to identify current content that's indexed on your site. And then I have a note somewhere for me. Then we will use a product like SEMrush to find out some SEO parameters for your business. Then we will use ChatGPT to form some content. Then we would look at using Midjourney for imagery. And then we'll look at creating the page and getting that index. So I know Sora by OpenAI was released last week. I haven't played with that yet, so it may be integrated into that particular webinar. So the purpose there is, how can you use AI in simple form at a strategic level to add value to your site? So that'll be the first one. The second one in April is going to be around how to deal with negative reviews, and then by extension, sort of how to get more reviews. And maybe a little bit on using Google My Business and how to track profile views and the like. But the main thrust of the April one will be about how to combat negative reviews. So please come along. There's probably going to be teething issues. I'm sure there will be. But the main thing is to get that content and that knowledge over to you. So I'm going to touch on some Merchant Center changes. If you bear with me, our resident surgeon, Doctors for Your Data, how do I share my screen here? Mr. Raj Sharma, he has put together this Google Merchant Center shipping value change that's occurring. So from February 2024. So what we have here is 4 changes. So for standard shipping, you'll need to make these changes within your Merchant Center account. So for websites which offer free shipping over a certain value, so all order value over 99, you have to use the account level shopping setting. We can also use this as a standard option in the shipping attributes for any custom products. But every product has to have a shipping setting. So adds a little bit more admin into things. That complexity I was talking about. So the next one down is using custom shipping attributes. So use the below attributes as a secondary feed or via the website feed against products which are oversized or difficult to ship. So this is telling Google, variance. If it's outside a region, it may have a different price. If it is over a certain weight, it might have a different price. So regional attributes of this one. So Google has an option to add shipping value based in regions or postal codes, and we can add configuration to exclude certain regions as no shipping. And then finally, we have the no shipping metric, and that's for products that are too complicated to be providing with a shipping value. So as long as the value is added as no shipping, Google will display the product in ads, but won't display a shipping value. So if you are doing online sales, your merchant center is your best friend. So this piece relates back to shipping. Then we have the consent initialization configuration. Get your head around that one. So this is in your tag manager account. We will do this one for you. For every client we have, we will pro bono for you, as we end up doing through Google every year. We spend about 3 hours, 4 hours on every client account extra just to keep things compliant. This one's for GDPR, mainly for businesses in Europe. I don't think we have a client in Europe, so it's not a big deal. It is if you have business in Europe, because you need to ensure that you have the consent mode enabled, and that effectively is just around the data aggregation that you are taking so you can use GA4. Then I have the note that GA4 was down, rather humorous. I don't think I ever saw Universal Analytics go down, so GA4 down. They have this analytics service, and you can see all of the different Google services. And so you can see that on the 27th, Google Analytics was down. And you can see how awesome the uptime is generally. Really isn't that big of an issue. You can see the same with most, spelling right, most online tools and products. So the same here. There is a better version of this layout. I don't know why it's giving me this version. In the past, where Teams has gone out, there's been issues here. There is a different one that has a similar layout to this. So if you ever notice that you're not getting data, it's always pays, or your ads aren't working, or your Gmail's not working, it always pays just to go and have a look at, is GA4 down? Is Google Ads down? Is Facebook down? And then the final thing that I'll tell you all today is about the overview data. So we're doing pretty well getting most of our client accounts in here. So this is giving us live data as to what's happening in client accounts. What you'll see here is that we're slightly down in total traffic over the last 30 days, but that total revenue is up significantly. And that's because we've only just started to get the e-commerce correct. But you'll see that we've managed $2.7 million in the last 30 days on behalf of our clients. We do expect this number to get upwards of about 3.5 per month, and it will jump higher in those seasonal times. So when we see Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, if there's seasonal sales that occur, Christmas, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Boxing Day, New Year's sales, they're all going to increase the monthly revenue that we see coming through on this particular platform. But what we're looking for once we get stability, and I expect that at the end of March, we will have that stability to be able to represent. We'll see how the market's going, because we're talking about, and it's a very small subset. I'm not deluding myself into thinking that we're reporting on massive numbers here. We're talking about 250 odd clients that we're getting that data from. Obviously, not all of them are e-commerce clients. So this is, the total value that they're bringing in. So then we've got the demographics. Just on this page particularly, we'll see that we have a high number of mobile, a high number of desktop, and a very small segment of tablet. But then when we look at the engagement rate, we see smart TV has the highest engagement rate. That's nominally going to be YouTube ads. So there's a real opportunity for you advertisers out there, if you want to get into the mix, to target smart TVs, because there is, a higher engagement there. What do we got here? That's total users, must be the, not sure what that one's telling me, actually. Total transactions, sorry. Where are we getting total transactions from? So mostly from desktop. And you'll see it's a slight split. So it's 52 mobile, but it's only 41% for transactions. That's quite common to see more desktop sales. Then we have gender. So we used to have better numbers with GA, universal GA. Now mostly everything's unknown. It used to be about 48 male, 52 female. And then you've got the unknowns. Although I think it's important to note that those that we do know, the oldest age demographic has the highest number of transactions, and the lowest age demographic has the lowest number of transactions. So a keen observer would place more advertising on smart TVs and target the 65 plus market. If I had gender, I'd say you could weight it toward the genders, but we don't know. Channels, what do we have in channels? What we're going to see here is that organic, direct, and paid are doing quite well. So you'll see 640,000, or a third, came from direct, a third came from organic search, a little less came from paid search. Organic search gave us a good 100 grand, just under 100 grand, and then a long tail below that. What we see here is that we have the year to date and then the percentage of traffic. So these are roughly in line. Direct is in line with conversions, as is organic and paid. Channel trend. This is a showing. We'll just go to February 29th. And you'll see that we weren't tracking e-commerce correctly until late in the year. We have been tracking users throughout the last 12 months. So you'll see it was dipping down, and then we've started to see an increase. So dropping back down, we might see this data will be a couple of days old. So even though calendar, it's the end of the February, it's probably seeing only 3 weeks into February, and then we're seeing that revenue climb. So we're expecting to see that jump. So we're looking at trend, obviously, month on month when we report this back to you. And then we've got conversions and events. So you can see a little bit more detail here. So average conversion rate is 2.18. The number of phone link clicks is up. The number of conversions is up. And both of those metrics are fairly stable metrics. So that 14% for conversions and 15% for phone link is month on month. So that's good. That's showing us there is an increase in engagement, if not people necessarily signing off quite yet. And then we have the total revenue number and the transaction number. ARPU, I should know that. It'll be average revenue per user. Is $1.81. And for you, if you're a retailer and you're wanting to lift your revenue, that's the target, that's the number. You get that to 2 and your average order value will automatically increase and your total revenue will automatically increase and life will be grand. Cart to view rate and purchase to view rate, I'm not going to go into in this meeting because that just takes that much longer to go through. So I'll stop the share. I'll put myself back on camera. If you got through this long, yay, congratulations, thank you. I hope that there's lots of engagement and good content that's been represented here. Just on those webinars, now that I think of it, if you have a request, if you have a particular topic that you want to know about, us Wonkers will go and do some research on it, and we'll put together a webinar just for you. So don't hesitate to reach out and say, hey, I want to know about this. Love you all. Have a wonderful March. Last month of the financial for many of us. Depends on how you structure your year, but nevertheless, let's make it a good one. Go well.